How do you level up gathering, and how do you level it up fast? That's a question I get asked so often, both in the comments and on stream, and today we are going to be starting a series that tackles that very question. So, as you can see, I am in Tutorial Town, the Cove. I've done just enough to be able to unlock the Destiny board, so you can see this is a fresh character. I don't even have tier 2 tools unlocked. So we are going to jump straight into it, and we're going to get up to tier 8 tools. So starting out, to get to that first node unlocked, stick to wood, fiber, or ore gathering. It's the quickest because you don't have to take the time to fight down the skinning mobs. Now that we've unlocked the tier 2 tools, let's finish up the tutorial. Now that we've completed the territory and we're off the boat in Bridgewatch area, we're going to be able to start gathering in the open world now. In Bridgewatch's territory, you're going to be able to find fiber, skin, and ore. So we started with one pickaxe, because that's all we could afford. And let's start leveling. Now, traditionally, if you're in the Bridgewatch territory, your main focus is going to be skin. I already started off with a mistake buying the pickaxe first. If you want to start off with ore, your best bet is going to be the Mountain Cross or Fort Sterling. Now, if you want to know which resources are in an area, press N, and then up at the top here, it will tell you the resources in the zone, as well as the tiers. So tier 2 to 3 in this zone of skin, fiber, and ore. So we just unlocked we are working on unlocking the tier 3 tools. Now that we have about 6,000, 7,000 tin ore saved up, we're going to go back and sell this on the market, but we're going to go do it in the proper city, not the cross. When you're selling your materials, you always want to sell in the main royal cities because there's a much higher population, which means there's a much higher demand for the materials. Now, I always suggest placing as a sell order, so that way you can get the most bang for your buck. So now with 4,700, we're going to buy a skinning knife, tier 2, and a sickle, tier 2. Now you're going to want to look on the map, and since we only have tier 2 tools, our best bet is going to be the tier 2 to 3 zones that we were just in. Here we'll also find 2 to 4, which will be beneficial, as well as tiers 2 to 4 out here. Now that we have all 3 of our proper tools, we're going to be working on unlocking tier 3 on all of them: skinning, ore, and fiber. Now you'll notice when you're skinning animals of the same tier that some skin faster than others. That's simply because with skinning, there are no nodes, there's only mobs. So these Moa birds will act as the node variant for skinning, whereas the cougar will act as the mob variant. So cougars will always skin faster than Moa birds, than bears, than moose or wolves. So here you can see a noticeable difference in the speed in which they get skinned. For the most part, you'll be able to tell individual tiers apart by their color. So tier 4 is blue, whereas tier 3 is green. You are able to gather with the tier of the tool as well as 1 tier above, and that is the maximum. So with tier 2 tools, I'm not able to get tier 4 materials. So I would not be able to get this deer or giant stag because of that. Now what you're seeing here is an enchanted material. So the ones that don't glow are obviously unenchanted, but when a material has a glow around it, that means they're enchanted. And what we're looking at right now is, as you can see, rare hemp, or 0.2 enchantment. The enchantments go green, which is 0.1, blue, which is 0.2, purple, which is 0.3, and then once you go into the black zone, you will see golden, which is 0.4. Those are protected by shields and typically take large groups to fight over. While gathering, one thing you want to keep a constant eye on is your carry weight. Now, each mount will give a different bonus to carry weight, with oxes, bears, boars, stags, and moose giving passive or active stats to boost your carry weight. Things that can also help are your bag or the sub-stat on your boot, the passive stat, courier, which will increase it by a certain number of weight. Another thing that will help with carry weight and gather bonuses are pies. The lowest tier pie that you can buy is a tier 3 pie, chicken. I would recommend carrying a couple of those. So now that I've eaten the pie, you can see that my max load has been increased by 10%, as well as my gathering yield by 5%. Now, since we don't have tier 4 materials unlocked and gatherable, I won't get into max or gathering bonus quite yet. Now, when you want to keep track of how far you've progressed along into the next stage, over here to the right, you can see your destiny board. Now, it will show you the most recent things that fame has been acquired into. So the frontmost is, of course, skinning, because we've got these Moa birds, as well as my adventurer, and a reaver, because we just did combat. Now you'll see it change into my mining. Now, while we're gathering, the objectives that we just completed were the Adventurer and the Reaver. Now, the Reaver is for combat, which determines basically nothing at this point, but the Adventurer is very important because that will determine the tier of gear, mounts, and accessories that you can use. So we unlocked Adepts, which means we can now wear a variety of crested capes, as well as tier 4 bags, and use tier 4 mounts. That's very important because, like I said, the bags help increase the carry weight, as well as unlocking the Ox and the Giant Stag mount, which, as you can see, has a passive carry weight buff, and the Stag has a active carry weight stat. Now, you can see that we have gone over our maximum carry weight, even with the pie. Now, what that does to us is it slows us down. And in your inventory, you'll be able to see by just how much. So 104% puts us in the 100 to 130 range, which will slow us down by 20%. 130 to 160 slows us by 50%. 160 to 180 slows by 70%. And 180 to 200 slows by 85%. Now, anything above 200, if you're on foot, will render you essentially immobile. If you're on a mount with carry weight as its buff, whether passive or active, you will be able to move, but I'm going to be honest, it is at a snail's pace. Now, as we're running back to the marketplace, and as we're wrapping up this first video in the new series, I want to elaborate on the purpose of these videos. This is not like our other series where we're making a stockpile and we're tracking session profits to see how much you can make from gathering. These videos are meant to showcase the beginning steps to guide new players or new gatherers through becoming an experienced endgame gatherer, showing you where to start, what materials are found where, how to tell which tiers you're able to gather, and so on and so forth. This will not be a stockpile video. These will not be stockpile series. This is going to be where we just drop it off in the market. If it sells, it sells, which is what we're doing right now. Now, as we end the video, I want to thank everybody for watching, and if you're new to gathering or just have questions in general, please let me know in the comments below. I will be answering every question that anybody asks in the comments to the best of my ability in there, as well as tackling the more complex points in future videos. In the next video, we'll be going over gathering gear, the benefits of it, as well as the drawbacks. So make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for next time. I'll see you guys then.